Hello everyone. Oops, there we go. Looks like we are live. Everything's good. I know I've forgotten something major and I cannot figure out what it is, so I apologize ahead of time. Okay, tonight we are working on a snowy owl. I am working on Inktense MeWe. This is the black paper, and I've used tracing and transfer paper to transfer my image onto the paper cleanly. Now, here's a really easy way to do this. If you don't have a light box, if you don't have whatever, you can take your paper, tape it to your computer monitor, use a light hand, don't push hard, but I've been doing it for years. Somebody always gets really cringy about like, oh my God, you're gonna ruin it. I mean, I never have, except that time I tried to clip a GoPro to the monitor. That was a terrible idea. Don't do that. But using masking tape to tape it to the monitor and trace, no big deal. And that way you use tracing paper, transfer paper under this, little stylus, and just trace over it. You get your image nice and clean right onto the paper. And I'm working on the smooth side of the Inktense MeWe here. And let's see. Dragon is running all around, so if I keep looking back, that's what I'm looking at. You probably can't tell in that he's all wound up over something. So anyway, let's get, is there anything else I need to go over on this? Was that it? I feel like, oh, you can bid on this. The link, if you are in the US, link is in the video description. So if you want to own this snowy owl, give it a few minutes. Let's see if it comes out very good. It will, but probably. It will be available for you to bid on there. And if I did my job, I think I did it early, and now I don't even remember if I think I posted it. And, and before we get started, we've got from Kirsten said, Kirsten said, a treat for the puppers. Look at them looking. Can you see? They know. Oh, that camera isn't. Hold on, I have to fix something. What happened here? The hound cam is not, nope, that's not it. Hold on a second. We've got some issues. Let's deactivate and activate that. There we go. Okay. So they heard that Kirsten, I think they're just associating Kirsten's name with. What do you guys think? Would you like a super chat? Okay. Thank you so much, Kirsten. The boys definitely thank you. I am almost out of I may have to actually leave the room to go grab more treats. We're almost out. Good boys. Say thank you so much. Okay. Go to your bed now. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down, sir. Gibson. Go lay down. He's like, but if you don't use the mean mom voice, I don't have to do what you tell me. Lay down. Bad cow. Wait, down. Seriously. I don't want to use the mean mom voice. Okay. So, on to the owl. So, we're going to start with, let's flip this around. There we go. And, I think I just knocked something off. I don't know what it was. I've got my soft tools here. Link for everything I'm using is in the video description, along with the reference photo. So those of you who are getting ready to complain, and it's usually people in the comments, not during the live stream, but the comments like after I upload it. I've had so many people tell me to get rid of the dogs on the screen and put the reference photo there. You can put the reference photo anywhere you like because you can download it. Link is in the description, as always. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. I have got my soft tool here. I'm going to be using some white. Oh, my reference photo disappeared. Where did you go? Come back. So this reference photo, I believe I got this one. This one was either Unsplash or Pixabay, but the actual photo was super muted, the reference photo. So I edited it in, yeah, I guess that was right, in Lightroom and brightened it up quite a bit. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of, this is I always get these backwards. This one's the burnt sienna. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of that in there, and I'm just gonna start putting this in there. Now I'm not jumping to straight white because I'll probably do most of the white areas, the highlights with the feathers, with my colored pencil later. If I go too light right now, those lights aren't gonna stand out. Whenever you're working on dark paper, your colors are never going to be as pure or as bright as they would if you were working on white paper. White paper is going to give you the more natural colors. Also, totally almost forgot. At the end of the stream, or after we get through the artwork, I'm going to be talking to you guys. I'm going to show you an actual scammer's profile on Instagram because it's still live. I'm going to show you the red flags because you would look at this profile and go, oh no, that's a nice older lady. Like, that's not a scammer. Yeah, no, I'm going to show you how to identify that this is a scammer. So when people like this, because it's not that lady contacting you, when these scammers use somebody else's photos, I want you to see all the red flags, and there's so many in this profile, so that you're able to identify if somebody is an actual customer or a scammer. So that is coming at the end of the stream, or after the artwork anyway. So this, again, is just my white mixed with a little bit of that, what did I say it was, burnt sienna? I don't remember my colors. And we're just going to sketch that in there. I'm going to go into more blues and purples on this side, so I'm not going to pull this shade over there. If you look at that reference photo, we can see this sort of brownish tone underneath the white. That's what I'm looking at. Whenever I'm layering this, I'm looking at whatever is farthest back and working my way forward, you know, from there and working forward. So you can see we have these much warmer tones. And through here, we'll get more of the white as we move down. And if you've got any questions, go ahead and leave them now. We'll be answering those at the end of the video as well. Whoa, color is actually fairly accurate tonight. That's a Christmas miracle. And then I'll use more of the white. I'm not mixing a bunch of the yellow or the raw sienna in here. Burnt sienna, whatever. I'm really bad at the words. I'd say you know what I mean, but you probably don't because I'm not using the right words. Now, as I do this, I am layering the feathers so they're going about the right direction, but you can see I'm not like staying so super inside the lines, not totally worried about that. That dragon is jumping all over his tank. Okay, as I get over here, I'm going to start pulling in my ultramarine blue with the white. So now we're going, and I'm not even cleaning, like I wiped this off on a Viva paper towel. You could use an old rag. I didn't change the sponge. I can use the same one. I don't care if they smudge a bit. But see how now I've got these cooler tones. And I'll probably pull a bit of purple in there as well. See, like really blue. Now notice that I did not bother drawing out most of the spots. That is just, they don't need to be exact. I'm not going to, if I was doing a big project and I was going to spend weeks on it, yeah, I'd probably go more exact on the spots. But here, for tonight, I can save so much time by just going for close. Now, I will need to change my sponge when I go to do the eyes, because I've got blue on this. I mix the yellow in with that, and now I have green, and I'm not going for that. We've got the blue comes in through here a bit more. We've got, you can throw a little bit in here. Actually, I'm going to start pulling a bit of purple dioxazine, mix some of that all together. So I've got some blue, some purple dioxazine, just because I think it'll be pretty, not because that's what's in the photo. But it's going to be so pretty. I can already tell on this one, I want this one for myself. Like I would hang this one. Sometimes you can tell right when you start that you're going to really like something. These colors look so pretty. They're fairly accurate to what you're seeing on camera too. Again, kind of unusual. Just smudge that a bit. Now the mat is going to cut this off. So this will look a little bit weird size-wise because what actually, I'll cut out part of the head, so it'll actually fit more like that. Very little of that background will show through, so that's why as I get to the edges, it's kind of messy and sloppy because it's not going to show anyway. Okay, and let me switch tools. That one had black on it. I'm going to have to actually flip my, I'm just going to, so this side has the purple colors on it. I'm just going to flip this over to the clean side. And now I can use that yellow tone. So I've got some yellow ochre. There's a little bit of that. What was it? Something I can never remember. Darilide. I didn't even know that was a word until recently. So I don't know how to say it. But anyway, I'm going to use those two and fill in the eye. I'm not worrying about the detail around the eye. That will be fixed up once I start in with the colored pencil. And the beak is already dark, but I could add a little bit more. I'm going to mix some gray and a little bit of black. And every time, one of the things you're not seeing me do is every time I load this, I tap it on a paper towel. So you can see all my little taps there so that it's not overly, like there's not too much product on that soft tool. I'm going to pull a bit more of the white. We'll do white and purple. It doesn't really matter. I just need to get a little bit of something in there. Okay, that is really all I need for my base. The rest of this I can do in colored pencil because I'm going to be drawing the feathers and details over that. So let me get, oh, and I even found it. I'm going to be using Spectrafix to spray this. And I've got it in a fine mist sprayer. And I'm just going to lightly go over that. That's going to seal that down pretty well. I'm going to take a hair dryer. We'll dry that. Okay, and let me put all of this away. I thought I'd spend more time. I usually do on the pen pastel portion. Switch this out for my colored pencils. You boys stay. Maybe I'm just going extra fast because I'm super excited to show you this spam profile. It's a good one. Okay, let's see which pencils. I'm just going to drag them all out. So we'll pretty much lose this camera now. So if you have a studio, or even if, like for me, my studio was my bedroom for many, many years. At one point it was my dining area in an apartment, sort of dining area. It was supposed to have a table. I got rid of the table and used it for art. But if you've got, I'm going to unplug. Actually, we'll turn off this camera because, whoo, it's trying to end its life. There we go. But if you're looking for storage, don't look for specifically for art storage for the most part. I have like a cheap, well, it was cheap at the time, TV console. It stores everything. So these are actually my boxes over here that you see me store my pencils in. These are for art, but those are actually fairly inexpensive. I'll put a link for when I edit this in the video description for those. But with normal like art storage, it's all like Rubbermaid storage things. Rubbermaid actually has a toolbox that's really good, or it used to be Rubbermaid, I don't know. You can get it at like Home Depot or Lowe's. They have compartments for everything. Fish tackle boxes. They are usually cheaper than ones listed for art, but they're way cheaper. What I have over here is a TV console, and it's got little cabinets for all my stuff, and it's so much cheaper than anything listed for art. Also, Sylvia said, what is that dragon? I've never seen him so active. Sylvia said, the boys are being so good, they deserve another treat. Oh, Wade knew that one. Would you guys like a super chat? Thank you, Sylvia. There we go, right button. You guys are just getting spoiled tonight. Oh my gosh, so good, huh? Oh, I know. There you go. Wade, you gotta look at me. Wade, you know the rules. You're not doing it. He's supposed to look at me before he gets his treat. Gibson, go lay down. You're done. Wade. There you go. You go lay down. You got yours. Go on. Lay down, Gibson. Gibson, you're being obnoxious. You're not taking brothers. Gibson, lay down. He's like really trying to get Wade's there, even though he got his. Brat. You're done. Go lay down. Are you going to pout now, Gibson? So you're so mean. You wouldn't let me have both of them. Okay, so I'm going to undo this camera because it will probably slow things down if I can just disable it. Which one is that palette? I'm hoping that by disabling it, it will make my main camera work a bit better. Oh, and then when I edit this, I can actually put the reference photo right there. Hey, look, problem solved. Palette, hold on. Okay, good, that worked. Though I turned off a light. There we go. Okay, so it looks a little weird right now, but whatever, we got it. Karen said if you put the treat to your eye, he will look at you. No, he won't. He will look at the treat. Trust me. Tried that. What we've done is if I hold it long enough, he'll finally like, are you going to give it to me? He's been doing great. For some reason right now he wasn't. It might be the lights bugging him, but the last couple of days I haven't been as strict with him. Maybe that's also why. So yeah, he's a challenging one. Things that you would think that you're like, oh, here's a trick on how I get a dog to do something. It rarely works on him. Like he is just, there is something not quite right in that dog's head. Sweet boy, he just doesn't get things. The story of how I had to teach him to lay down was, I've never had to teach a dog to lay down that way. That was, Anyway, moving on, let's start. I need white, but I don't want this to be, actually let's start with the eyes. So I'm gonna go with black. So with that, I want my polychromos because I really like how sharp I can get that pencil. Although I think it was up here earlier. Crap. Where is that is the question. I don't think I put it back because why would I? That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Dang it. I knew I saw it somewhere else recently. I found some Inktense I forgot to put away, so yep, it was over by those. Hooray! Okay, and let's grab some, if I have it, glassine to put, nope, that's not it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I have to get a new piece. Really? Oh, wow, I need to clean this area. I knew I wasn't prepared. Glassine. I need glassine. Okay, 1 second. So glassine roll, and well, at least the one that I get, and it really lasts you a very long time. So this is one I'm just reusing, and I don't have tape. My God, seriously. I was sitting here for so long tonight trying to figure out what it was I was missing. I knew I was missing something because I was actually ready early. That's how I know I missed something. Okay. I know, it's all torn and messed up, whatever. Deal with it. Here we go. So this is my black polychromos, and I don't have my pencil sharpeners. My gosh, hold on. Hi, dragon. Grabbing a handful of pencil sharpeners because I don't know which of these are good and which ones need to have the blades replaced. And these are all just the little Coom handheld guys. Oh, I did have some over here. I just didn't have my, that one is definitely not good. Oh, you were doing a very pleasant job. Good job, sharpener. Okay, pay attention. Work, Lisa. So I'm going to line out the black portion around the eye. We'll also get the pupil in there a little bit better. And we're not going to leave the eye just one solid yellow. It makes him look a little bit, well, it's flat. It's horribly flat. Not cute. We'll fix that in just a second. I'm just starting by fixing the shape here. Same thing, back over here. Okay, now we need to do a little bit of shading to get the colors. What colors do I want? You look good, you look good, and you look good. So I've grabbed, this one is green gold, which I don't think I've ever used, ever. Let's go ahead and sharpen that. That looks like a really good color for the darker center. And then the orangey tone, this is terracotta. And these are both the polychromos. You don't have to use the same colors. You don't need to use the same brand of pencil. Oh, this is pretty much the exact color of the eye already, so I need darker than that. Let's just use Caput Mortem. It's not going to be the exact same color, but it will darken it up, and it looks good against the yellow, so. It looks blurry because it's just the pan pastel portion so far. Once I start sharpening everything up and putting details in, it'll look clearer. And I want to darken around the eye here. Just lightly going over. If you look at the reference photo, you can see where this is darker. And then I'm going to use the terracotta right in through here. Right around that edge. I'm going to push a little bit harder because it's not showing up very well. And I need some white. Cream will work. Or sorry, it's called ivory. Same thing. For some reason, they won't let me name the pencils. I'm going to lighten right in through here. Oh, that stands out really nicely. See how it really lightens that up? Then we've also got a little bit of the highlight. We can throw that in over here. I'll brighten that up more later. I may not need to, though. That actually looks good. And then I'm going to come around here. And let's darken that up. We've got a little highlight inside the black portion of the eye, right in there. Got a little dot here. And the majority of the detailing is going to be closer to the eye and the beak. As I move my way out, I'll let it be just kind of softly fade out. What is that dragon? He is like, I made him, if you've been around for long, I made him, you can kind of see him back there. I made him a whole new tank. That's all like handmade. I'll make a new video of it. It looks all blurry back there, but he is making so much noise, exploring like why does that keep going off? Exploring every little cavern tonight, and just, I'm not used to him being that active. It's really cute. Anyway, no one cares, move on. What is the screen? There's the screen. I'm going to do the beak while I'm at it. Let's just clean up that edge. You can only really see parts of it. Okay, and now I'm going to grab a white pencil. I've got my Pablo white. Now, I am not a fan of the Pablo colored pencils. Pablos are, to Caran d'Ache Luminance, what Prismacolor Very Thins are to Prismacolor. Do they even still make those, the Very Thins? But they're just a bit too waxy for my techniques. Now, there are plenty of people who use them and get amazing results, so I'm not saying don't go buy them. I'm saying they just don't work well for my results, with a few exceptions. I do kind of like the white and kind of like the black on sanded paper. It tends to be, like, it holds its point better. It's really, really waxy, so it's great for that. I'm going to try it on this. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. I'm probably going to switch to just regular Caran d'Ache, or Caran d'Ache Luminance, or my Derwent Drawing. Probably Caran d'Ache for this, because I don't want quite as soft as that. Let's see. I just want to test and see. No, it looks pretty good. I have to push a little bit harder, but it's a nice clean line, which I like. Now, here's the thing. I have to leave the dark areas showing through. I don't want to completely fill those in. But if I do realize, like in here, maybe I want a little bit more of that, this one wasn't terracotta, this is burnt ochre. Where'd my terracotta go? I want to pull a little bit more of terracotta in. I can go in between those lines. But the goal here is to make sure I'm leaving a lot of that background color. But I want to test my other whites too. Let's see if any of the other ones I like better. So let's go with Caran, that is not white. Oops. That looks like white. I want to see which ones look, oop, that sharpener doesn't fit, let go. Okay, so let's see. This one, the lines are not as crisp, but they also seem to get way more opaque if I push harder with them. But the pencil is not going to hold its point as well. I'll have to sharpen it more often. So that seems to be the difference right now on this paper. But the pencils will behave completely different depending on the paper. Like, I like the Pablo white better on sanded paper than I do on pretty much anything else. Whereas everything else, I like all my other white pencils better. hold on, I'm stuck on my airbrush. Well, I'm really stuck on that. Be free. Okay, good. Didn't lose the camera. I moved something. You never know what's going to happen then. So I just want to get the hint of the direction that these feathers go in. But yeah, these are definitely like, it's a little bit more grainy, gritty looking than it looks with the Pablo, but not quite as bright. The Pablo, it's waxier. I'm pushing a bit harder, but it does have a smoother look. Honestly, I can get good results with either. I'll just play around with both. Now, not all of the Pablo colored pencils are light fast like the Caran d'Ache Luminance are. So keep that in mind. A lot of people were under the impression when they bought theirs that they got the whole set thinking they'd be light fast, and they were definitely not. So we've got these little hairy guys sticking out this way. Yeah, I definitely could have gone even a bit darker on some of these areas with the Pastels. I doubt the gray will show up. I'll probably just stick with this and then go over it with darker colors after. So we've got the feathers on the underside of the beak, floof up that direction. And that's really what you want to watch on your reference photo. It's not that anything needs to be exact, but try to keep those feathers going in about the right direction. That is what matters. You'll see they'll just keep changing direction as you move around. It's really easy to make a few pencil strokes and be like, wow, that looks awesome. So I'll just repeat the same pencil stroke. And it's like a natural thing. Everyone does it. It is not, it doesn't work out that well. Look at your reference photo and pay attention to when that direction shifts. It's pretty constant. So we've got some that are diagonal. So we'll work back and forth this way. This camera is unfortunately not showing you the detail that well. Let me see if I can fix that, if that's something that the camera hub has any control over. Give me 1 second here. Oh, why did you do that? Stay there. That was actually good. Oh, there we go. Sharpness was way down for some reason. That is much better. Not as good as in person, but way better. Yay. I am quite happy with that. Okay, back to work. Oh, see, I just switched to Caran d'Ache Luminance. Not on purpose, but it doesn't really make a dip. Like, it's fine. Actually, I'm going to switch back to this guy just because it's a little bit sharper. Got a bunch of feathers sticking out over that beak. And then we've got these little guys coming out from the center. So you've got these diagonal lines. He's so fluffy. As we move out, we don't have a whole lot of detail. I'm going to switch to my polychromos because that's going to be a little bit softer, a little bit less opaque. Actually, not just that. Let's get a lighter, like an ultramarine blue. Let me see if I've got one of those in there somewhere. You should be good. You are light ultramarine. Too dark. We'll have to do a combination of you guys. So I'm not pushing very hard, and the luminant or polychromos are not going to be as opaque, which is perfect for over here where I just want this to kind of blend in with the Pastels. So see, it's making it more like a light purple. It's not the really white area like I was getting over here. And that is what I want. See how these feathers floof in different directions? Again, really watch that reference photo. Now, if any of this is too harsh, I can come back over it with my pan pastels just lightly to tone it down, because this area is pretty out of focus. So if my lines, if I don't like how they are, that is a very easy fix with pan pastels on top. Pushing a bit harder there where it gets a lot lighter. I'm going to stick with my polychromos as we move down here. And I'll start adding some of my black spots in just a moment. I'm going to do some of those. We'll see if it's faster to do it with pan pastels or the colored pencil. I'm really not sure. I'm going to switch over to one of my wax-based pencils. So we'll go with the Caran d'Ache. This is the Luminance. Now I'm going for a more sketchy line. When I'm doing something quicker, I'm going to go for a more kind of stylized, a little bit more sketchy, and I'm okay with those pencil strokes showing. If you want something that looks more like a photorealistic, you can use the same supplies, but you're going to spend 2 weeks instead of an hour. So very different look, very different goals on that style, but these same materials can achieve either look for you. Going to get the hint of some of these feathers in here. I'm going to switch back over to my polychromos as I move down here, just because it's going to be a little bit softer. Most of that gets cut off by the mat. You're really not going to see most of that, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. 1 second, I need a drink of tea. Hopefully it doesn't give you gross tea drinking sounds. Wow, that tea had no flavor. That is sad tea. Okay, let's scooch this over a bit. I'm going to keep building up just the texture of where these feathers go. So we've got this whole area. Yeah, this I'm going to leave. This I'm going to start pulling in the hint of shape there. And then I'll define it better once I come through with the black spots. And I'm sticking with my polychromos because this is kind of soft as I move my way out too. These curve down. One of the things I would definitely encourage you with is do some quicker sketches where you time yourself. Like this, I've got about an hour to get it done. But give yourself 10-minute sketch, 15-minute sketch. If you're in our Patreon group, we've got art prompts that I've started providing. This was the first month, but it looks like you guys really like them, so I'll start doing that as a regular like Patreon thing for us. We've got different daily sketches. Just spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Just do whatever. Some people have spent a lot longer, clearly, on these. But the point is just do something, do anything, get it done quickly. It will help you in your other work too when you start doing things more defined. Plus it's a nice break from not having to have everything perfect all the time. But just find any art prompts, it doesn't have to be ours, and sketch something. Give yourself just 10 minutes. Get the hang of how to create a certain look without having it all be detail. You're focused, I'm not wording this well. It starts forcing you to focus on your lights and your darks because that's all you really have time for. You don't have time for the teeny tiny detail if you're giving yourself a timed project like that. So I definitely recommend spend some time on quick sketches. I've got my light ultramarine. I'm going to define the shadows a little bit better here. Now we're going to come through and start putting the black spots. It's fast enough, I guess, with this. It's easier to control with a pencil, but I think it would be so fast with pan pastels. Let's bring those back out. I lied, we're not done with those. I really just need black though, so let me grab that. And you can do this whole thing with just colored pencil and no pastels. Either way works. Totally up to you. So I'm just going to take this little guy and a little bit of pastels, and let's just softly, guess this is better because it's supposed to be soft anyway. Oh yeah, that's good. And I can clean up anything that I need to. And then this all fades off camera, so you're not gonna, or not camera, but off the mat will cut that. You're not even gonna see the most of those. And I am not trying to make these exact to the reference photo. 100% does not need to. If you see snowy owls, some of them don't even have much in the way of spots. So this isn't something like the markings would always be the same and someone's going to see this and go, oh, you screwed that up. Not at all. But we do want to follow the general shape, the general movement. See how these kind of move back away from the eyes there? Got some shadows in there. I'm just going to use that to shade in a little bit. So stupid question, where are snowy owls from? I genuinely don't know. I'm thinking Canada probably has some because, you know, North Pole and all. You can tell I've never left the country. I want to get some variation in there, different sizes. We come down, see how I've switched direction here. Technically, these have more brown in them, but I'm keeping it simple. We're just going with black. But look at how much form it added because it's curved the right direction. And he looked more flat before, and now just adding something as simple as that and having it move. They're not the same as the photo, but they're moving in the right direction, and this is helping to create that more three-dimensional look. What a difference that little bit made, and my gosh, is that faster and easier with the Pan Pastels. Love you, Pan Pastels. Oh, look, and it looks like those ones, oh, perfect. They're just faded because I let it blend in with what was already there. Oh, I am liking this. You know, while I'm at it, let's just add a little shadow into the eye there. I like it. Okay. Let's put the lid back on that for, oh, wait, no, I wanted to soften. No, let's come back to that. Ooh, I almost destroyed my tea there with my foot. Let's get some of the white in a little bit better and some of the different dark shadows. Actually, now that I think about it, let's play around. I'm going to come back to my Pan Pastels. I'm going to switch. Do I need to? No, I don't need to clean that. I'm going to use, you can't see it, but my raw sienna again. I'm going to use that. Let's pull some of the darks in with the Pan Pastels, and it'll soften that a bit. I'm going to pull a little bit of red oxide and some brown in that. Let's darken that a bit more. You can do this with the pencils too, totally up to you. I just wanted to see if I like this better, or mainly I want to see if it's faster. Oop, a little bit too heavy on there. Let's dab some off. And I'm using, I said red oxide. Is that the actual name of that one? Red iron oxide. Close enough. That mixed with my burnt sienna. Oh yeah, this one's definitely worth bidding on if you like owls. He's gonna come out amazing. He already looks so good. I don't have that much more to do on him. The contrast between the warm and the cool, I am loving on this. I'm playing mine up a little bit more than the photo, but I like that better. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, I need to flip my little cover back over. I wanna use my purples and blues a little bit, and then we'll come back through with the white pencils. So a little bit of purple, a little bit of my ultramarine blue. You can't see what I'm doing because I've turned that camera off. It's fine, you're not missing out on much. And let's soften this. I'm actually gonna pull some black too and soften that outer edge. Actually, there's a few spots I think I'd like to pull some black now that I think about it. Where did that brush go with the black? Now I have to dab a decent amount of that off. I don't want it too heavy, and I want to soften this edge. Oh, look how pretty that is. Just so it kind of fades into that background. Because my background is not, like on the reference photo, is not black, so it makes more sense to soften this, and so now, so that edge fades out a bit. I'm going to pull a little bit more with the darks in here so that when I come through with the whites, they show up a little bit better. I'm going to switch. I don't want this to be too dark, so I'm going to switch back to the purples over here. By making this darker, my brights are going to stand out more. So if you're doing something and you just, like, your lights just never seem light enough, it's probably because what's next to it isn't dark enough. Okay. Actually, I'm going to pull a little bit of that purple just into the deeper shadows right in here. So it fades, it's purple, and it comes right out into the red oxide raw sienna area. That isn't showing up as well as I'd like. I'm going to switch to my Caran d'Ache. So why am I using Caran d'Ache versus the Derwent Drawing, which I feel, or I'm sorry, Derwent Light Fast. Derwent Light Fast is more opaque for the most part, but it's also a little bit softer. Or I find, I don't know, this one I thought would, like the Derwent Light Fast blends better, but I don't really want this to blend. So that's why I went with this one. Honestly, you're not going to be able to tell that big of a difference between either for this project, but that is why I decided to go with this one. I'm just going to take a few areas there, make some clumps of feathers, a little bit more defined. See how these lines are slightly rounded? It's not a bunch of straight lines. When you're doing things to do with nature, very little is going to be completely straight. Straight is going to be more of your man-made stuff. So everything is just slightly curved. And this is mixing in with the pan pastels that are already there, especially given I didn't seal it with Spectrafix first, so it's really mixing in more, which is perfect. Because I don't want that to be necessarily that white. Lots of fluff in here. I'm going to use my pan pastels to soften some of this. Well, this looks pretty good too, though. Feathers kind of going in a few different directions over here. It's a little bit of cross hatching. And I'm not going to make this area nearly as light as what the reference photo has. I actually really like that fading out. I'm going to use pan pastels so that that stays softer in some of that area. And then let's see, we've got a definite highlight coming down here. And see, now the shadow stands out a lot better because I lightened up what was next to it so much. Okay, let me grab, you need to put a new cover on the Pan Pastel because I want this to be much, actually, let's be lazy and just use one of, do I want to, no, I don't want to do that. Decisions, where are my covers? I have lost them, 1 second. Oops, and then I threw it on the floor. Lost it again. Okay, so I'm just replacing this. Get your art questions ready because I'm going to be done with this one in just a moment here. So this one is really fast. I'll show you in the other camera. It looks much better in the other camera, as usual. But I'm just going to take some white and soften a bunch of this out. So you're still seeing the lines underneath, but it makes it much softer, much more, well, soft. That's not redundant at all. It's a little different than usual. Usually I just start with Pan Pastels and don't bring them back in. Not this time. This time where I'm actually finishing it with the Pan Pastels. This is going to be way more opaque too in some of these areas. But look at the softness that gives it. So you can still see all those little lines. They're just so much more subtle. Again, I'll show you on the good camera in a moment here. And I'm really just focusing on my light at this point, making sure my lights are light enough, my darks are dark enough, and my details are in there, so I'm not super concerned about that. Too much. Let's soften that with my pinky there. Getting out of control. The difference that adding the softness makes in person, because you're not seeing as, my lines were definitely too harsh. I really wish webcams would get way better than they are. But my lines were a little bit too harsh, and this is just softening it so nice. Just gonna smudge that a little bit with my pinky finger there. Make sure your hands are clean if you do that. No eating greasy chips or whatever and then touching your artwork. You will regret that. Ask me how I know. Just kidding, don't ask. And people often ask me why, I always get this comment, why don't you just use soft pastels or pastel pencils over this instead of the colored pencil? Because I hate the way pastels feel. Like they're chalky and dry and it freaks me out. They are such a gorgeous medium. I'm so jealous of those of you who aren't crazy people and can handle the feel of that on your skin. I am not one of them. They really give me the heebie-jeebies. Love looking at it, cannot work with them. The soft pastels don't do that though. They don't have that dry feeling to them. I was hesitant to use them for years because I assumed they would just be the same. And yeah, they really aren't. I want to soften that a bit there too. You look so nice and fluffy. Or she. It could be a girl. I don't know. Okay, I think she's done. Now she's a she. Let me show you what that will look like with the mat when this crops it off, and then I can sign it too. Whoops. So the first thing that I want to do is, when I sign it, is map out where, I also need to lift some of that, where the mat's going to hit. Now notice I don't want to just do this. See how this just barely, her head just touches the top of the mat. Don't do that. Just chop it off or go way up. You want to be within an inch or so of the edge, or just go right off the edge, which is what I'm choosing to do here. So about like that. And I will just sign that over here. And I hold the mat up to it so I know where to sign, because you'll see this in just a moment. Look how far up that is. If I would have not known where the mat was sitting, because I always cut my paper a little bit larger. For a 5x7, I will cut it to a 6.5 by 8.5. So I've got a little bit of wiggle room around that edge. If my paper tears a little when I remove the tape, it's not ruining the art. And I just work, go a little bit larger that way. But the mat's going to cover part of that. So I just need to make sure I know where that goes before I sign it. Let me show you what that's going to look like. This camera usually looks more accurate. Yeah, that is way more accurate. So there is my finished owl. That is quite a deal. What did I start him at? I don't even know what I started the price on it. Probably should have been higher, because that is abnormally good for a 52-minute project. Less than that. Like that's a really pretty one. I'm super happy with how this guy came out. Yay! Oh, I'm excited. I gave myself goosebumps. Sometimes you just are super proud of yourself on something. You just get the goosebumps. It happens. Okay. So, what did yeah, $65. Are you serious? And that includes shipping, because I like to short myself apparently. Anyway, let's go ahead. I want to show you guys before I'm going to answer your questions in just a moment. So go ahead and keep those coming in. But let's talk a bit about scam profiles. So what a lot of these scammers, what their goal is. So I think first you have to understand what they're going to try to get you to do. On Instagram, they will contact you, ask if a painting is available for sale. They will never go, like if you've got a website, the easiest way to avoid this is if you've got a website, you can just be like, go to the website, you can buy what you want there. They're not going to do it because they're scammers, but it filters everything out. No longer an issue. I don't sell to anybody individually on Instagram. Why would I do that? I have a website. Go to the website. Or if you don't have that, sell it on Etsy, on eBay. You send them to that link, conversation over. And what they want to do is, and I've talked about this part before, but I need to, so those of you who haven't heard, I just want you to understand where they're going with this. But they want to get your PayPal address, which is usually our email address, and they're going to agree, let's say they'll pay $500, $1,200, they don't care what the actual amount is. They're going to give you money, but you'll say, okay, let me make an invoice, give me your email address, I'll send you an invoice. No, they don't want that. They'll say, no, give me yours. I'll just send it to you, because their big one is usually, I'm already in PayPal right now, I'll just send it to you right now. They're not, but whatever. So you give them yours, you're like, okay, here's my address, and they will start messaging you, did you get it? Did you get it? And you're going to be like, look at your PayPal, no, nothing came through. Oh, well, I got a message from PayPal. They're going to try to convince you. PayPal said that in order for this payment to go through for some reason, that PayPal is going to send you a code right now. It's going to text you a code, and you need to give them that code. What they've done, you just gave them your PayPal stuff, so they're trying to reset the password so they can take over and steal your PayPal account and all your dollars. So that is what this scam is, because what that code is your security code that PayPal, when you set up like two-factor authorization, or you set up anything that if you want to reset your code, it will text you a link or a code. They're trying to get that from you. So that's what this scam, like the general gist of what this scam is. So just be aware of that. But what is happening here? Let me see. I think I've got it set up so I can show on, is it this one? Yes. Okay. This is my fake profile, and not mine, but this is the one we're going to be looking at. This is not a real person. I am sorry for the lady whose photos are being stolen. She's not the scammer. She has no part of the scam because this is not her, Miss Becky Williams art. And there's so many red flags. I just want you to be aware, so when someone contacts you and you look at their profile, when you see this many red flags, it should be a big don't do it warning. And I mean, the simple thing is, if you've got a website, if you're selling your art, you should. But they hit a lot of people who don't normally sell their art, and they're suddenly so desperate. I love your work so much. Is this available? Is that available? They don't care what it is. They just want anything from you. This is not how a normal buyer works. So anyway, she contacted somebody. There's a Facebook group for art scammers. It's like art scammers, or I forget what it's called. Do I can talk a search on Facebook if you want to join that group for, I think it's just like Facebook, Instagram, art scammers, I think is the name. But someone brought this up. This is how this profile, because she was asking if it was real. Yeah, no, it is not real. But she contacted her, and the first red flag in this case was she asked the artist, is this painting available? I don't do NFTs. This lady does not know what an NFT is. Like the actual person whose photo was stolen. Anyone over 30 doesn't know what an NFT is. NFT, the second the word NFT gets brought up, it is a scammer. It's not a thing. They try to make it a thing. It's not a thing. It's a scam. Dragon, seriously? Did you need a nosedive? So it's kind of funny. It's kind of like when a scammer says, I'm not a scammer. No one said anything about a scam. Why did you even bring that up? Now I'm questioning. And that's what this one is. I don't do NFTs. And it actually says here, but that was her first thing. She wanted to buy paintings. I don't do NFTs. Okay. But anyway, so let's start by looking at this, because this person on that group had asked, is this a scammer? So I looked at the site. Like, she wasn't asking me specifically. I just happened to be in the group. But anyway, moving on. Becky Williams, name is fine. 21 posts, and her posts, just showing you, none of these are posts that are going to gain followers. So that is your first thing. 21 posts, over 1,000, almost 1,100 followers. None of this would have gained followers. So what scammers will do, they'll make a fake account, and they make multiples of these trash accounts. And I'll show you more proof of that in a moment here. They make these accounts, and then they in this case sat on it, because this account was made in 2016, but they'll either like their own, because they've got thousands of them, and they'll go through and like all their own because they've got so many accounts, or they'll like each other's. There's like a little hub of these scammers. They join clubs, and they like each other, so it looks like, oh, it's legitimate. Look how many followers there are. This is a legitimate account. Why? We all know how hard it is to get followers on Instagram. This account did not get 1,000 real followers. So there's your first, like, that's weird. Next, this one's one of my favorites, because I don't know why the scammers want to do these flowery BS, like fortune cookie type sayings. They always do this. It's important to, right up top here, it's important to express oneself, provided the feelings are real and taken from your own experience. Just what? Again, let's just pull the... It's important to express oneself, provided the feelings are real and taken from your own experiences. The actual F are you talking about right now? And this is a scammer thing. I don't know why they always do this, but they come up with this flowery BS. And the bad thing is, the people that fall for these scams are like, oh, they were so genuine. They were such a real person. What are you talking about? It may as well be AI. Like, people don't talk like that. People don't say that it's... Okay, moving on. Let's come back to this. So that was your other one. And then I know you can't see my mouse, but right under it, no NFTs. Again, if this was a real profile, I guarantee you the cute little lady here, she don't know what an NFT is. She would never write that on a real profile. Why would you do that? No one would. That's like, not a scammer. Okay, scammer. Yeah, so that's kind of a wow. So let's go on. I want to go to the oldest post there. This is it. That is the only post on this thing. The first post, this is taken from the internet somewhere, and this was March 4th, 2016. So that's when this account was created, and it was basically a placeholder. And what they're hoping to have happen is, when they eventually use this account, because like I said, they've got thousands of them going. When they use this account, somebody's going to look at that and go, oh, 2016, this isn't established. Like, this isn't a scammer because it's not a new account. Obviously, a new account is a red flag. Yeah, this photo, do reverse image searching, and that photo is just all over the internet. It is not her photo, or his. It's probably a dude. It seems like most of the scammers are dudes. Not all the time. Next, looking through here, We've got a lot of photos of this woman, these two people. That's not the same lady. These, not the same woman. When you really look at the face, yeah, no, they both have white hair. They're both older, but it's not this. The one up top is likely quite a bit older than the one below. Yeah, no, not the same person. But apparently white hair means it's the same person. Also, I just think this lady's so cute. I'm so jealous of her white hair. Look how pretty it makes your skin tone. Like the actual person who's being stolen. I just love her hair. Anyway, that's just a side thing. I'm super excited for my future of white hair. But moving on. So going through, oh, here, generic hockey team. And what does it say? Go champ. This is the equivalent of somebody who doesn't watch sports but goes to a football game and they're like, go sports. Right. So again, and no, 4 likes, it was probably them liking their own post, their own account, because people don't actually follow them. Oops. So again, red flags. And we've got some random photos of artwork that supposedly are hers, but she's trying to buy artwork from other artists. Also, she wanted to buy 5 paintings from another artist. So they're trying to get you all excited. Oh my God, a sale of 5. Like, because what's going to happen for the average person, like the average artist? We sell 1, we just about pee ourselves. 5? Oh my God, I can pay my bills this month. That's amazing. They're just playing up on, yeah. So again, not the same artist. I like this one. She's supposed to be in Mississippi. So, you know, we've got to show that. I don't know whose actual car this is. It's not this lady's, because again, this lady, look, seriously, look at her cute white hair. Although her eyeliner is super smudged. But anyway, sorry lady who isn't the scammer, so I don't want to be mean at all to this poor woman. But anyway, we've got random photo of a dog they found off the internet. Now this is one of my favorite. Also notice she supposedly has 1,000 people following her. No, almost no likes. It's just whatever she can get for liking herself. But one of my favorite things too, this will make you laugh. Scammers scamming the scammers, or attempting to scam scammers. So this photo, a scammer, a romance scammer tried to get the scammer, and writes, and this one, so writes, don't you know your smile can make an old man grow younger, even when the age is accelerating? Heart face, heart face. I don't normally write in the comment section. Sure you don't. But I think you deserve this compliment, and space, ... Yay, grammar or punctuation. Can you please tap on my profile and add me on Facebook? Let's be friends. The romance scammer is trying to scam the PayPal scammer. Oh God, that's glorious. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of this whole scam. Like, wow, your scammers are just, this is another thing. If you get comments like this, people suddenly hitting on you for no reason. I mean, she looks like a sweet lady, but let's be realistic. As we get older, people are not throwing themselves at us anymore. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Be realistic. And so someone going on, oh, you're so beautiful. Let's talk. Let's chat. I'm in love with you. They're instantly in love with you. They will also always call you their queen. So that's always fun. How to spot it. I should make another romance scam video. How to spot a scammer. Or actually look up on YouTube if you were interested in this. There is a channel, I think it's called Scamfish. Oh God, it's amazing. Watching how, like, it's such good content. You won't believe what people fall for with these scams, but watch it because become aware of it. And you feel bad, obviously, for most of the people being scammed. The one from today did not feel bad for this woman. She was, what a horrible narcissist. She deserved it. But anyway, in this case, you're looking like, people are probably, when you're being hit on Facebook and Instagram, it's a scammer. Just assume it's a scammer. It's always a scammer. But anyway, it doesn't even matter how old you are. It's a scammer. So yeah. Anyway, this was a great profile. And this one, the thing that I found, I think it's better done than most of the scams. It looks, I mean, look at all these, like the family photos. And that's one of the things that most of the scammers don't put that much effort into. They'll have like a photo. Usually they use someone with a child. So you like have sympathy there, because who doesn't like kids? I'm going to get a bunch of comments of people going, I don't like kids. But anyway, yeah, that's usually what you see. But in this case, I mean, that's a lot of photos. Of course, that's not the same woman. But yeah, in all of these, here's the next thing, big red flag. So this one was March 4th, 2016. Next photo, we've got October 8th of this year. No posting, no content whatsoever all that time. That's something that people who have these trash profiles That's what they do. And in this one, it was a great one because that first photo, they didn't bother putting the photo of a person because they don't want to. They don't want to put a photo. They're not going to use that photo yet. They don't know who they're going to use as the face of their scam yet, because they can't. Back in 2016, they couldn't just take a photo because by the time they decide to use that profile, we can easily Google search and see that photo's used all the time. They want to use someone new, so they wait. They don't post, and that's why you've got that big gap of no posts whatsoever. But yeah, I thought this one was a fairly well done for a scam. I mean, tons of red flags, obviously, but better than most. This is not a real person, and this poor lady, I mean, you look at her and you're like, she looks so sweet. She looks so trustworthy. It's not her. Oh, best part. This is how I know it's a Nigerian scammer. Usually the romance scammers are Nigerian, but apparently this one is too. All the hashtags on these hashtags, drawing of the day, contemporary painting, so it goes through all that. Nigerian art. That is a hashtag on almost every one of these. So you want me to believe that this woman from Mississippi is using hashtag Nigerian art? I don't even know why the scammer did that other than to get, and that may be why actually, because the scammers will work together. It may be to get the other scammers to hit like just to help them out, but obviously it didn't work that well. She got 6 likes. But yeah, Nigerian art is posted in a lot of these. And then, just Insta art, art blogger, art collector, whatever, to try to make herself look legitimate. Himself, let's be realistic, it's probably a dude. But yeah, that is very fake profile. Nigerian art. Like, what? Like, no NFTs in Nigerian art. Right there, that's really all you needed to know. This is fake. So yeah, I thought that was a good one, and don't fall for this crap. The second somebody contacts you and tells you that they want to buy art, but they want to just send you the PayPal, scam. The second somebody says NFT, even in this case, I don't do NFTs. No one brought up NFTs. Why are you saying it? Why? I'm not a scammer. I mean, that's all that was. The second any of this happens, these are just such red flags. And if you're ever not sure, well, what if it was real? Because I hear this all the time because people like to get scammed, apparently. What if it's real? Okay, send them to your website. Make a listing on Etsy. Make a listing on eBay. Whatever. If that's not good enough and they won't buy it, they're not a real buyer. Heck, my website doesn't work half the time and people will jump through hoops to try to get the art when they want something. I mean, a real buyer is going to do what you ask them to do if they really want the work. God, I hope that this app works. But yeah, anyway, channel called Catfished. Yeah, it is such a good channel. Such good content. And it brings awareness, I think, to so much of how bad these scams are. I mean, you get the ones with that show that's kind of off topic a little bit, not really, that are funny, where like the woman who clearly thought she was in a relationship with Johnny Depp, who needed tens of thousands of dollars from her. There were a lot of them where you're watching it, you're like, wow. No red flags there, huh? I mean, the one from today, the woman thought she was in a relationship with Tyler Perry, claims she's a minister, and she was also the smug look, and you'll see if you go watch today's episode of the smug look when they found out people were paying her money and she was transferring it into Bitcoin and sending it to the person. She knew she was doing wrong. You could see the look on her face because she didn't tell him what she was doing, and then she's like all smug about it, like her face like, oh, I didn't mention it, because she knew she was part of the. I don't think she thought she was being scammed, but I think she knew she was screwing other people over. Good minister there. Anyway, there we go. That is your tip of the day of watch out for these people. So many red flags. Okay, so I will answer your questions now. Oh. Yay phone for locking me out. I love how you set it to where if I'm on my Wi-Fi, don't lock me out. I shouldn't have to sign in, but it never works. Thanks, Samsung. Why do you even have that setting if you won't let me do that? Okay, we've got, oh, they just jumped. A bunch came through. Python said, should I save up for a Hansa yellow paint? Hansa yellows are higher chroma, more vibrant than cadmium yellows. The only yellow I have right now is a cadmium. Is it worth it to get the Hansa? I don't know what that is, so I'm going to go with no. Why? I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it to you if you want to spend the money on it. I don't know the difference in cost there, but I'm not one that's that worried about color. It doesn't matter that much to me. I go by my values. Are my lights light enough, my dark's dark enough? What I have found over the years, when I was younger, I thought it totally mattered. What I have found over the years is most people, let's unblind myself a little bit here, most people don't know, don't care, never going to notice. What they're noticing, that high contrast, dark's dark enough, light's light enough, that is what they're going to see. They don't care if you used a cadmium yellow versus whatever Hansa yellow versus you mixed something with a bunch of non-cadmium alternatives. No one cares. The only people who care are the artists. I'm telling you, like, the buyers do not care. It's just not a part of something that I am worried about. If you think, like, if you do something to your art and like, oh my gosh, I like it so much better, then it's worth it. But it only matters that you wanted it. It's for you. The buyer, really not going to care, honestly. And I'm going to have someone in the comments go, that's not true. It is. Have fun with your sales, because it doesn't matter. So yeah, up to you. But if it's expensive, I mean, maybe because I'm broke, so, you know, yay economy. So I'm like trying to save money all over the place. As the person who just bought 2 new plants that I'm stupid excited for. I got paid and I had to get new plants that have been on my wish list forever. And they're the last 2 that I wanted. But anyway, but the point is, I'm not trying to spend extra money if something I have works good enough. And to me, that's just how I view it. But you may be in a different financial situation where you're like, I got money to toss around. If it matters to you, do it. If you're doing it because you think it's going to matter to the buyer because it's going to matter to other people, it really isn't. Okay, that's a good question. Fly Me to the Moon said, would you speak about warm and cool colors and how they affect color mixing? That is something I need to make a full video on. It's not something that I can just like off the top of my head get accurate. And like, yes, it's a good subject and it's something that I have been wanting to make a video on, like a full, like it's on my to-do list for sure. But it's good. That's something that I want to do like right and well. And yeah, so not tonight, but yes, soon. Fly Me to the Moon said, with regard to cadmium yellow, it seems that light cadmium is a cool yellow, but the cadmium medium is warm. Would you agree? Honestly, I don't know. I have to look at them. I don't know the names off the top of my head with those, and you're going to be like, wow, how do you not? Because I don't care. Because it doesn't matter that much. Because we get so worked up on these aspects that I just don't think it matters that much. I mean, yeah, cool and warm play a role in the work, but I'm more concerned with my values. That's the work that that's what I'm going to focus on. But yeah, no, I mean, cool and warm and color theory, I do want to make more videos on that. But as far as like cadmium, I'd have to look at them. I can't think off the top of my head. So I'm going to go with later. Aline said, what makes art being considered as fine art? It is for aesthetic purposes only, with a goal of it just to be pretty or to be appealing, I think is a better word. It's supposed to be aesthetically pleasing, whereas other art that is not like fine art, what would other be like other art forms? I can't think. God, my brain is kind of fried because I'm still in the scammer mode. Can you tell? I'm like, I can't think about that right now. I'd have to look up the definition of other art forms. You have like music is an art, which is also supposed to be appealing, ideally, but it's used for different things. Sometimes it's supposed to be stupidly ugly to reflect emotion. But yeah, the gist of fine art is just that it's supposed to be visually appealing. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other arts and how they contrast, but I can't think of them off the top of my head because it's just not coming to me. My brain is not functioning tonight. I got a good nap too. I don't know why it's not functioning. Carolyn said, does the pan pastel adhere to the colored pencil or will it fall away where the white lines are? No, it sticks. It sticks to everything. That stuff is amazing. It sticks just fine. And I will put one more layer of Spectrafix over this one just to make sure it's all sealed in properly. But yeah, it sticks. Python said, is it good to be a label lady of the night? You just wanted me to say that again. Or better to be open to creating with whatever, preferably artist quality brands. So it, like my being a artist name brand lady of the night isn't due to I like that name. It's due to I trust their quality. So if you can trust the quality of another brand that isn't as name brand, sure, but the problem is how can you trust them? If they've not proven themselves to me, no. Most of the new brands coming out are coming out of China. That's all crap. It is all crap. So no, I'm not going to trust any of those. Now, does that mean that they couldn't be useful for like a sketchbook? Sure, go for it. But the quality is just not going to be there in most cases. If they don't have a name built for themselves, I'm not trusting 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of my life per painting with their product. It really sucks to put that kind of, I mean, heck, let's talk about UArt. UArt, I did that. I spent weeks of time on some amazing pieces. I did the same with Fisher 400, some amazing pieces of art. I can't sell them. Now that I know that they're not light fast, I can't sell them. Oh, I wonder if my mother-in-law would like the cherries for Christmas, because it's really pretty. Got it, thinking of Christmas presents already. I don't know. No, I don't know that. No, she probably wouldn't. Dang it, I thought I was off the hook with her. She's so hard to shop for, come up with gifts for. But anyway, no, it's not about the name. It's about the reputation that company has built. And the companies that don't have a name for themselves didn't build that reputation. So again, like Fisher 400, I put all that work into it. I can't sell prints. I can't sell the art. That sucks. That is frustrating. And at the time, I didn't know that because they both claim, oh, we're archival. Yeah, on the front, but not the back. And I found out with UArt, I tested this myself with a pH neutral pen. What used to be archival on the front, not archival anymore. And I don't know if it's because it's stored back to front with the back is not archival, the front is. Did it soak through? Or was it because when you store the sheets together as they ship them to you, as they sell them, is the back of the one now contaminating the other? I don't know what the answer is to that, but I don't trust, like, and that's a name brand and I can't trust it. So I'm very not trusting of anybody until you've proven yourself. And so that's why I go with these name brands that have a reputation that I trust. So there we go. Karina said, have you ever drawn a night jay? I don't think so. I've seen my first online. The colors are really bland, but they have the biggest, cutest eyes. Hold on. Let's find out. Let's do a search. Night. Actually, you guys can join in on me. Let's see, or join in on me. What the actual Instagram. Let's pull this one back up. We're gonna search for a night jay. Oh yeah, actually I have, but I thought it was called something else. I think it has a different common name. I think I have. I think he's in my hallway right now. I'm pretty sure it was the same bird. Blue jay. That one, okay, blue jay. Maybe, I don't know what a night jay is then because they're apparently going to mix everything together. Let's go back to all. Order of the night jay, book 1. Yeah, I'm getting books. I don't know what a night jay is. So I'm going to go with maybe because I have no idea what it is. So that was not helpful. Okay. Python said, I found Pastels at DeCeres Art Store. Should I invest in the primary set of 5 or is colored pencil plus Gamsol okay for these projects? That's up to you. I can't tell you. I like them all. So, I mean, I would say yes. I love Pastels though. So, yeah, I mean, that's completely up to you. That I cannot answer. Fly Me to the Moon said, okay, I'll bite. I'm the little lady that don't know what NFT is. See? Exactly. Like, that's what got me on that. When you see an older woman, you're like, she wouldn't even know what an NFT is. And that's not anything to bash her for. She's lucky she doesn't have to know what this scam is. Everyone tried. Like, I tried to be nice about it in the beginning. Like, oh, maybe it'll turn into, it's not going to be anything. It's not a thing. You can't make it a thing. No one's ever going to make it a thing. So yeah, anyway, older, trust me. I'm what, 46? The only reason I know what an NFT is because everyone keeps hounding me about it. Like I kept having friends go, have you heard about this? Have you heard about this? Because they're like art plus NFT. They thought it was a thing. But like the average person, like if I asked a neighbor if they knew what an NFT is, they'd look at me like I was speaking another language. No one knows what it is. So yeah, anyway. That's all I say. If you're like, you're over 30, you don't know what it is. Or most people don't. Let's see. Belle said, what's the difference between zinc white and transparent mixing white? They're very similar. Transparent mixing white is the Liquitex version that I use for acrylics. Zinc white is going to be more translucent again, but that's what I use with oil paints. I probably have it with acrylics. I don't know. But what I use that zinc white is going to be for oils. Angela said, how do you explain why Lightfast and archival matters to buyers who really don't understand what they mean? God, I gave up, honestly. I write it on my website. You can write it and have like a little thing about why it's important, but I was trying to explain it to people at a, Aquashella, my first year in Aquashella. So it amazed me, the people who do glow in the dark art, that is not light fast. And I'm like, that's not going to last. Thing is, and this is not me bashing those artists, the only way to do the glow in the dark art is non-light fast. It's not like they're just making poor choices. But at the time, I remember thinking, why aren't they warning people? This, I almost said swear words. This cow leavings is not, no, because that's insulting their art. I mean the art supplies, the glow in the dark paint. I'm like, it's not, they're cool paintings, but they're not light fast. What I found out by trying to explain it to people, they give no craps at all about it. It doesn't matter how I word it, how I explain it. They don't care. Their eyes just glaze over like, what? They don't care. So all I can do is, as a creator, know that I'm selling something that's going to last them. I mean, it's just being honest without them knowing I'm being honest, I guess. But even like I have friends who sell the glow in the dark art, and it's really cool. And I get why people like it, because when you have your actinic lights with your reef tanks, it like really makes that stuff glow. It looks really cool. So I understand the draw to that. There's no alternative. So what are the artists going to do? But like I said, I tried explaining it to people and watching their face glaze over. I get now why they don't bother explaining to them. I actually don't even know if half the people who use glow in the dark paint know it's not light fast. They don't really care. But on the flip side, let's be realistic. People who want glow in the dark style art are not usually your more sophisticated decorators, where they expect that artwork to last 100 years. Like, that's going to last them 10 years. Even if it makes it 10 years, they're going to want something else probably after that. Like, it's more, it kind of makes me think more of a younger crowd, whose taste is probably going to evolve into something else as they age. Like, again, glow in the dark posters and stuff. That's not, what most people have with their home decor. So yeah, I think that's part of it. But as far as, anyway, that was just kind of a side story. Most people, I just don't think they like, you can't get them to understand. So it's like, put a blurb about it on your website as like a talking point, a pro, like why my artwork is amazing. But when you're trying to post talking yourself up, but I should do that too. I don't think I even did that. But most people not going to read it, not going to care, not going to understand. And yeah, it's not even like, oh, we need to educate them. Their eyes glaze over. Like, they glaze over. They're not hearing you anymore. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, Nick found a night jay. Whoa, they're neat. That is an odd, it looks like two different birds smushed together. What happened to you? That says that about my pajama cardinals. It looks like 10 fish or 3 different fish shoved together. Oh my God, AKA nightjade. That is, wait, that's not the same. Nick, that's not the same. You showed me 2 different ones. No, nightjar, AKA nightjade. What? I don't know what you're showing me. I don't know which one's which, Nick. I'm so confused now. Let's see. Karen, what about a video on composition? That would be a good video too. They're different birds. Oh, wait, nightjar, and then this one's nightjay. Okay, neither of those birds are what I was seeing when I typed in nightjay, and that is adorable. I don't even know where I would find a photo of that, being that I couldn't find a photo at all of that. So, yeah. Okay, let's see, where are we at? Yeah, Aline said, unfortunately, that mentality is going down the drain due to art hole mania on YouTube and artists not being as picky anymore. Name brands have earned their status. Yeah, I don't like that aspect. I don't actually watch many art videos on YouTube because I don't like most of them. It's like for kids. I feel like they pretend they're not, but really that's the quality that they're producing, and it's just whatever. Go for it. My favorites are the ones that are like, here, I'm going to paint with a metal scrubber brush. Why? Why don't you just use real paints and your paintings might be better? Or paint supplies. Anyway. Python said, I'm not a pro artist, but I only use archival quality supplies. I shouldn't have to put my heart and soul into my art to have it fade because of archivalness or to be bad because of supply quality. Exactly. Fly Me to the Moon said, I'm also a pastel artist, and many professional pastel artists love you art. Oh, I know they do. I know, and unfortunately, the only sanded paper that is archival is Lux Archival. She's tested front, back, every aspect of that is archival. The other ones, and that was a concern for me. I mean, before it was like, well, maybe you are just telling the truth when they're like, it's archival on the back, but it won't affect the front, which doesn't make any sense, but okay. I mean, we have to use archival. We can't even use regular masking tape, regular like Scotch tape. People, I used to do this when I was younger. When you would tape it to your mat, that will yellow the paper because it's touching. Even though the paper was archival, the tape was not, but they're touching. It affects that. So how was claiming that isn't the case with theirs, how do you figure? And I tested it myself with the pH neutral pen. Sure enough, front over the years for being, it was affected. So yeah, I know a lot of them like it, but have fun with that over time. And I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. I can't say, oh, in 15 years, in 30 years, it's going to make it fade. I don't know. I have no idea. But why would you risk it? Deborah said, let's see. Oh, not that. Oh, it's a kind of owl. Now that's interesting. And that makes sense. That did look more like an owl. Kinda? It was weird. Clark Fine Art tested it and got the same result where the front and the back were testing as acidic. Well, and I've heard they're very sue happy. So a lot of artists don't want to speak out against them, but it's like you can't, like with the way social media is, I'm just sharing my opinion and what I've experienced. You can't see, like no court is going to, all it would do is waste time, but it's like you can do that. It's a review. So, but a lot of, there are apparently real jerks from what I've heard. Like the owner is just, well, and then I've seen how he talks about other artists when I had somebody contact them and say, hey, this artist I watched said such and such about your product, that the acid-free was not front and back. They responded basically trashing me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I've shown videos of that product not being acid-free on the front and the back. Like the front one really surprised me that I wasn't expecting. But it was funny because I tested it live thinking it was going to be acid-free on the front just to show the difference. And it was like, it's not anymore. So I checked my pen on some acid-free paper because I was like, is my pen broken? Like, I don't think that happens, but no, it was the paper. Anyway, Python said, my mom forgot your business name, Lachri, and called you Leslie Landscapes. My mom's name is Leslie. Oh, it's an Australian nightjar owl. Okay, totally different. Really cute. Oh my gosh, we still have a half an hour, guys. Bring in the questions. What do you want to talk about? Next week we are doing a guinea pig. Wait, no. Yes, next week is a guinea pig live stream. Nylabug, I think, is it, who has been asking for it forever. I'm finally going to do it. And I don't know what medium. I have not decided that yet. I don't know, but I did find the photo. It actually would be good with pen pastels and colored pencils again. But that is coming. And then the following week, I think, is Thanksgiving week. So I'm going to do a art critique. I'll post it over in Patreon. So I'll start with accepting submissions from the highest tier. And then, like, depending on how many you get, I'll accept from the next tier down and the next tier down and so on until we get enough to fill a live stream. So we'll do that I think that's the night before Thanksgiving, because on Thanksgiving, I do not want to edit my, I don't want to be editing a video. So thought that would be good. Angela said, why use sanded paper? What are the advantages? So it just depends. It's grippy. Stuff grips to it. You get, like, if I'm working with colored pencil, and so if I wanted, God, there's so much information here. Like, that's one of those questions. How do you draw? Like, where do you start? So let's see. How do I start with this? If I'm working with powder blender, colored pencil, brushandpencil.com powder blender, who I love. That's also who makes Lux Archival. So they actually invented it so that there would be an archival option for that. But that powder blender only works on sanded paper. It's just the way that product blends. It just works. With pan pastels, you can layer so much. You've just got infinite layers that you can get on that. It's going to be rough, and so I thought I wouldn't like it because it's too textured. I mean, it's sandpaper. Think 600, 800 grit sandpaper. It's rough, but pencil sticks so well. Like the color saturation, everything. It's faster. So like I did a Fox as a 16 by 20. That would have taken me so much longer if I was not using sanded paper with, in that case, I used Pan Pastels. But yeah, it's faster to work on, so that's a bonus. But it is going to give you a little bit of a different look than what you're going to get with like a hot press watercolor paper. So it's just a different look, but it depends on the medium I'm using. If I'm doing something large like that with Pan Pastels or with brush and pencil, then the sanded paper is amazing. Downside is it is fairly expensive compared to like a hot press watercolor paper. Python said, I swear by the polychromos for blending and detail. I get the best results with them. Also, they're way cheaper than some like Derwent Lightfast. I like them both. Fran looked up NFTs. And she said it means non-fungible token, and the rest of the definition confused the heck out of me. Definite old here. No, it confuses everyone. It's play money. It's pretend currency. It's not a thing. Like at least Bitcoin and all of that, like people can make actual money with it. They trade. It's a thing. It's a real currency. NFT is never going to be a real currency. Like it's just not like, oh, I own the digital NFT to that painting. It means nothing, but I own it. Great, you own a number, you own a digital file, but I also have that digital file. Oh, but you own the rights to it's. I know someone's getting mad. It's more than that. Whatever. It's a scam that didn't take off. I mean, maybe it didn't start as a scam, but it didn't take off, and I don't think that it's ever going to. Yeah, and that's the thing. They're like, yeah, Nadine had said, she's like, let's see, but NFT basically digital art. Anything digital can be copies, but NFT is supposedly a one-of-a-kind, non-reproducible digital image. All images are reproducible. It's one of those, it's more like I own the copyright to it, but like there's no way not to reproduce anything digital. You can. Oh, but it has a code built into it that no one can read, basically. Like it's ridiculous. Okay. How about a crayfish, or is that too time consuming? I am definitely not going to paint a crayfish in my, I don't see that happening. Oh, unless I did something surreal, but not on a live stream. I don't think many people want to follow along with a crayfish lesson. Okay. I don't know. What else you guys have? Also, it looks like nobody has bid on this owl. Seriously? $65? Part of me says don't tell people to bid on it because at $65, it's better off for me to keep and then sell separately. But just in case. There we go. Look at that owl. He's so cute. He's a 5x7. He looks bigger on the video than he actually is. Kangaroo. I've never found a photo of a kangaroo that inspired me to want to paint it, which is weird. I don't... yeah, Joseph said with NFTs, very high risk, very little resale value equals NFT. Yeah. I haven't done charcoal. Oh, I haven't done charcoal in a while. Charcoal, what? Well, I don't want to do that for the guinea pig. The guinea pig wants color. He told me. Oh, why? I remember why now, because he's black, and so I'm going to be using purples and blues. Oh, yeah, Pan Pastel and color pencil would work really good with it. Well, I could do acrylics, too, if my canvas order comes in. But it'll be one of the two, I would guess, because I want to do kind of a lesson for another one for black fur. How about a reindeer for Christmas? That, maybe if I did a really stylized one I could do in a live stream. Maybe. Nick says, don't let Lisa keep this one. Place your bid on tonight's artwork. And he's got the link for it. That's funny. No, yeah, Karina said, well, I find crayfish cute. Well, I like inverts too. I mean, I've got isopods. I've got my tarantula over here who I think is the cutest thing ever because she wears pink ballet slippers. She's pink toe. She's adorable. Other people don't think what I think is cute, and I realize that, so I try to tone my weirdness down. One of these days I'm going to really show the weirdness to people, and it's going to freak them out. But yeah, Highland cow, they would be cute. Actually, they would. I could do a Highland cow. Let me write that down. I'm writing down kangaroo too. I didn't. Kangaroo. I did not write that right. Write that right. Snowshoe rabbit. Bubbles? Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles, yes. Bubbles is my tarantula. I thought you were asking me to paint Bubbles. Bubbles is the name of my tarantula. Elaine said we need to see her more pink toes. Actually, I had an idea so that I could post her on Instagram and MeWe and stuff. I could do a cute little digital cartoon version of her, so it's not going to creep anyone out. It's super cute, but then you can scroll to see the actual photo of her. I think I'm going to start doing that because too many people are weirded out by spiders. But she's adorable, and she's wearing pink ballet slippers. Like, how can you be afraid of that? She's so cute. She's big. A white fox for winter. That would be good. Reflections, painting, drawings, marbles. Let's see. Dolphin Soul never said never hide your weirdness. Orcas. Oh, I can paint. If I had my way, that's pretty much all I'd paint. They're like my favorite thing in the world. They always have been. Let's see. Quite some time ago, you did a charcoal drawing of a bell with a bow, maybe one in color or some ornaments. Let's see. Python said, people love to be things to each other on the internet. An abstract painter got absolutely bullied on Instagram who likely aren't artists themselves. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, art bullies often aren't artists, absolutely. Or they're artists who aren't very good, and so they feel the need to bash everyone else. I see that too. And Nick said, I don't mind looking at big spiders, just don't want them touching me. So the funny thing is about tarantulas, when you hold them, the first time I held her was actually, it's the only time I've held her. I just keep her. She's got a beautiful enclosure, and I like to look at her and talk to her, and that is the extent of our, well, that and I hand feed her, tongue feed her when she wants bugs. But she gets really excited. When you hold them, you have to move super slow. But your natural instinct when they move is to jump or to like try to catch her. The faster you move, the faster she moves. If you just hold still, like don't move, she's just gonna sit there and chill. Like, okay, I'll sit here. And they don't, she's not the type, like they're not an aggressive species, so she's not gonna try to bite you or anything. At most, if you scare her, she'll poop on you. Whatever. But no, it's so weird because you have to fight your instincts to move faster, especially if she starts to move away. You want to move quick and catch her so she doesn't like wander off, but that makes it worse. So you have to just like super, super slow. It's really interesting. But I didn't get her because I wanted an animal to hold. I got her because I had this empty vivarium. I mean, it wasn't empty. It had beautiful plants, cleanup crew, like it's well established. It was Glitch's tank when she was little baby, and I was like seeing if I didn't know if she was going to live, so I thought she would hurt herself if she was in a big tank at the time. So this one was small, and it's been empty since. I had Purple Frog was in it for a while, but yeah, since for over a year, it's just been the cleanup crew, so my little isopods and plants. So I wanted something there are not many things that can live in that size. It's a 12 by 12 by 18, I think. So too small for most animals, but it's perfect for an adult tarantula. So that is how that happened. Plus, she wears pink ballet shoes. Like seriously, if you aren't grossed out by spiders, look up pink-toed tarantula. So freaking adorable. She's so fluffy. Moving on. Enough with the spiders, Lisa. Horse. I don't know. Horses I get too involved with. I don't know if I can do that on the live stream. Maybe if I did something more sugar glider. Maybe if I did something more stylized. I mean, all the live streams are stylized, but let's see. I found the girl who did the only collages that said painting is not art. I was laughing for like 5 minutes. Oh my God. Oh, and those collages were so bad. Whoops. It just jumped. Chipmunk. I've never done one of those, have I? That's a really good idea. Have I done squirrels? I don't know if I've done squirrels. I don't remember. You should do a video one day on all your critters, frogs, dragon, bubbles, etc. Yeah, I actually want to. Like kind of showing all the care that goes into all of them too, because it is a very large part of my day is animal care. It's basically a zoo here, and I'm in some people's homes, this amount of animals would become look like a hoarding situation. They'd be living in filth and such. But with me, I'm really neurotic about things being perfect and clean. And oops, I almost spilled my tea. Like I like making enclosures, but I want them to look really nice. So I want it to look like what you'd see in a nice zoo. So yeah, it's very time consuming to take really good care of this many though, for certain. Lynx, I like that. Ellen said, Nick, stay away from bubbles. Yes, no swatting at bubbles. I do the same as Joseph. He says, I don't swat, I relocate. Yeah, I get a cup. Like we get wolf spiders or jumping spiders. We get a lot of those in the house. If I don't turn them into a pet, I have done that on multiple times. They don't live that long though, so it's kind of sad. So I like them to go outside and breed. Make more little jumping spiders for me to enjoy on my patio. But I mean, they're not like swarmed. It's just sometimes like you'll see 1 or 2 a week. Like it's not that many. But yeah, those all get relocated outside for sure. Snow scene with animals. I do need snow stuff for sure. There was a snow scene I've been saving. I need to do it for our Patreon because it needs to be a really involved one. I think it was a deer. It was something I found on wildlife reference photos or Unsplash. I don't remember, but it was a deer in snow. I think it was gorgeous, and I've been saving that one for a winter painting. So I need to do that. Chinese crested dog. I've done those. I actually have paintings of Chinese cresteds. I think it was before I did videos though. Do a ball python. Maybe. I usually don't do a lot with snakes and spiders. Gross people out, and so no one will watch. So that's kind of why you don't see me do those often. But yeah. Have I done a swan? I have. Funny story about the swan. It was actually a lady who lost her freaking mind. She had me paint them. She did custom. I did the mock-up. She wanted all of that. She was weird because she kept trying to get me to move in with her. It was a little odd. But, I mean, she was nice enough. And she ordered these swan paintings, but she wanted them weird. She wanted them with a damask green background. She wanted a swan, a normal one, and then the black swan, so white and black. And they were to have reverse green and black damask on them. I did the mock-up, painted it exactly like that. She loved it. Everything was good. Well, her husband didn't like it, so she didn't want to pay for it. But then she ended up being crazy. I guess she got mad I wouldn't move in with her. Why would I move in with you? But, I mean, it got weird, but like I had to block her. But she got all mad and she wouldn't pay for that, but she had a bunch of other paintings she also hadn't paid for that she had on hold, and she wanted me to put part of the money towards that she paid on the swans, because she did actually, I think she did pay for the swans, but she didn't pay for some other stuff that was on hold. But she told me not to ship the swans until she paid for the rest of it so I could send it all together. But she never paid for the other stuff, and she wanted me to take the money she did as a deposit on the swans. So she paid a deposit, she didn't pay them off. Put it towards something else that I actually could sell. I didn't like the swans. I didn't like the design. They're not on my website because it was always a bad design. It was her design. But yeah, bizarre. That one was bizarre. She was blocked, and this is why you do deposits, because I still got paid for the artwork that I gave to somebody else who actually loved them because she loves green. But anyway, that was the story there. African painted dog. I want to paint one of those so bad, but I never find a photo that really like, I just have not found the right photo for that. And I spent some time on wildlife reference photos, but I've not found the photo that like speaks to me. That sounds silly, but yes, that is what it is. Karina said, I love your ocean art. Would you do more of that kind of thing in any medium? I love sailfish. Have you done any of them? Sailfin, like sailfin tangs, or I'd have to look up. Sailfish is probably something else. It's probably not the kind we keep in an aquarium. So if it's not something in an aquarium, I probably haven't done it. Blue bonefish, I have not done that, or any of the other parrotfish. No, I'm not. Yeah, so nothing. We don't keep them in an aquarium. I usually haven't painted them yet. But besides Garibaldi, I have painted those. Yeah, no, I definitely need to do more ocean stuff. I want to do more, I really want to start doing some more surreal stuff. Like, I feel like I've done, not for live streams, because live streams, there's just not time for that, but like, just in general for Patreon and stuff, I want to get some more, I want to do surreal stuff, but I also want to set up the lesson so like this part of the lesson is only the butterfly portion of this surreal scene. So even if you're not interested in surrealism, you could follow along with how to paint a butterfly. Like, so it's its own separate video is my plan on that, because not everyone likes surrealism. I know, they've told me. Unrelated, but someone asked what brand of dog someone's doggies were. I don't know what that is. What brand of dog? How a fox bat? Are those the fluffy ones? I like the fluffy ones. Eurasian Jay. Man, you guys are going to have me busy for a long time. This is awesome. I'm writing this all in colored pencil on the scratch piece from my owl, the part I cut off. Raven with a top hat. I kind of like that. Have I tried alcohol markers? I don't use alcohol what? I can't talk. Alcohol markers, they're not light fast at all, like at all. So that's, I never got into, like they're expensive for how not light fast they are. So not my thing. They're more for like cartoonists and stuff. But the amount of time that I put into my work, I'd rather not use that. How about a hockey background project in colored pencil with a cat as a subject? Oh, a hockey? I can't read that. I don't know what you're asking for. Bokeh. Okay, there we go. With a cat as a subject. I did one of those recently. I mean, technically, the out of focus would be kind of. Did you see, Python, what I'm working on right now? The owl? Because well, you can kind of see it behind me. That guy is, I'll show you guys. Actually, let me email this to did I email myself with it? I don't know if I did. Let me see. I posted it on well, it's on, how can I download it? Where can I find it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, here we go. Let me download this. Save image. Now, email. Oh, this is going to take longer than I intended. Sorry, but I guess we have nothing better to do. So this is the underpainting. Let me pull it up here. You're just not going to send, because that's awesome. Where are you? Oh, you're a draft. I sent. You sent. Why didn't you send? You didn't send. You think you didn't send, and I don't know why. Why are you being weird? You're definitely being weird. 100% weird. Why are you not? Are you in drafts? No. What in the what? I don't know why it didn't send to me. You, send. Okay, I think I just didn't actually, I don't know. Let's see if it comes through. Oh my gosh, this is way more effort than I intended it to be. Yeah, it doesn't want to send the image for some reason. It's, what are you doing? It's not in spam. It's not in drafts. I mean, it is in drafts. It's just not showing my... Fine, send. Try that. Did it send, though? It's not attaching the files. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Go look it up. I've got a... Wait. Oh, it's syncing mail for some reason. That's why. It is being ridiculous. Well, if that comes through, I'll pull it up. I just keep an eye out for it. But anyway, I've already painted Gibson. I have not painted Wade yet, though. Yeah, I found, yeah, I don't know. Antilles pink toe tarantula. Yes, that is what Bubbles is. So here's the thing with sailfish, then, and like they're related to swordfish. There are artists I know who do an amazing job painting those guys, and they get the photos themselves. It is not, there aren't a lot of reference photos of those. Not anything legal I could use anyway, so that's kind of my issue with some of those. Did it come through? Maybe? Maybe? No. You're still, I don't know. It has an issue. I don't know why it has an issue. It's just having an issue. Like, it's still trying to sync my mail for some reason. Here, let's turn off Wi-Fi. Maybe that'll fix it. Sometimes it does. Okay, let's see. How about a harpy eagle? I have good reference photos of those too. That wouldn't be something I would do in a live stream though. They're just too much. Flying birds of prey, pound pastel, black German shepherd and colored pencils. No, I don't know if I could get that done in a live stream. Maybe profile view. Yeah, I don't know on that one. Some of these subjects are just not something, like I can tell would not be something I would get done in an hour. What's my favorite movie? I should know that really quickly and I can't think of it. Well, I don't know what my favorite, these probably aren't my favorites. They're just the ones I watch over and over again, so sort of favorite. I should admit this, but I watch Twilight way too often, and Harry Potter, of course. But like I'm sure there's a movie that I'm like, this is the movie that just I love so much about it, and that like everything about it's like actually good. Unlike Twilight, which is some of the worst acting the world has ever seen. But I still watch it all the time. I make poor life choices. Stop judging me. Jersey cow or bull? I don't even know what that kind is. Dragons. I actually want to get a good I've got some good photos. I want to do some paintings of my dragon for sure. Don't worry, it doesn't take any work of you. Stop giving me that judgy look. I swear, bearded dragons always look like they're judging you. Ghost ship. I don't have a photo of that. I definitely cannot find that photo. This email ever go through? Wow, weird. It's like just suddenly I can't email myself for reasons. It thinks it did, but it didn't. That is really odd. I don't think I have Discord on here. If I don't, let me see. No, I don't have the app on here, and it would take me too long to sign in and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a, do I? Wait. Yeah, no, it's not on this computer. So that wouldn't help. Anyway, I'm doing a little owl, total bokeh background in oils, so yay. Clark Finer said, hello, frogs. Yeah, they're chirping over there. My tadpoles are still alive. I put a bowl, I normally don't try to grow out their tadpoles. They breed, the kind I have breed constantly. So I actually did put a little bowl in there, and the tadpoles are, I don't know, a couple months. I don't know how long they've been in there. It's been a couple months. So they might start developing some legs sometime in the near future. So yeah, I decided to let them have one batch of babies. We'll see how it goes. The problem with breeding dart frogs, though, you sometimes have to cull them, and I'm like, I don't think I'm strong enough for that. That might be a problem. I mean, I have the stuff to do it. It's clove oil, but so it's like painless for them. They just go to sleep. But it's, yeah, you have to make hard decisions. If they're deformed, you wouldn't want them to try to live that way. Like, it's not. Yeah, so that is why I haven't really gotten into that before, but we'll see. Can I just sign in on a webpage? I might. Let's see. I never tried. It looks like I might be able to. Oh, and it looks like it knows my stuff. Ah! Problem solved. You're a friggin' genius. Oh, and a million pop-ups. Thanks for all the pop-ups. Okay, I can find it this way quickly. Well, quickly. It was under work in progress. See, this was a lot of build-up for something that's not that big of a deal. It's just the underpainting. And save image. Save. Add image. Oh, it's really little. I don't think that photo came out very big, so it's gonna be blurry. Oh, you can kind of see. So that is, there we go. That is the, I have pan pastel on my face. That is the one I'm currently working on. That's the underpainting. So I'll start tomorrow night with the color on the background. I'm going to, the photo came from Wildlife Reference Photos, and it's going to be, that photo was like an all green background. I want mine to be more like muted navy blues or indigo blues and grays with a bit of orange. Like, it's completely different the way I'm going to be doing the colors on that. So I'm excited. That will, yeah, that's the underpainting. So that's the lesson. I need to post that. Actually, tomorrow I'll upload it. It's ready to go. I just need to upload it to YouTube and then link it over to Patreon for you guys. So that is this week's lesson. So yeah, yay. We've got 4 more minutes. Wow, I am shocked that Snowy Owl is still available. Although, apparently I'm not getting emails, so there's that. Let's see. Yeah, weird. I mean, it's fine because I'll list it for quite a bit more when I sell it myself. So, because that came out good enough, but yay. Let's see. How often do you use polychromos pencils? All the time. I don't know how to answer that, but pretty much all the time. Let's see. 3 more minutes if you've got questions. We're just going to stare at each other awkwardly. I guess I can go through the usual wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Next week will be a guinea pig, either in pan pastels and colored pencils or acrylics if my canvas comes. Week after is going to be art critiques. So if you want your art critiqued and you are a member over on Patreon, watch for those posts. I will start with the highest tier, and depending on how many submit from that, I just kind of work my way down the tier list. And check out our moderators' channels. Links are in the video description. I know that actually Nick posted a video of his digital painting. He posted his before I posted mine. I haven't even made the video of mine yet. He followed one of my lessons of a digital, oh, that's the painting I should have shared on here. I did a digital painting of a hawk. I posted it, I believe, on Instagram, so you can go see it there, or MeWe. If you're on Patreon, you already have that lesson. So if you have a tablet, like an iPad, or I used my Samsung tablet, you can paint digitally. Like I'm break this down. So if you've never done it before, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it the easy way. So because you can certainly overcomplicate digital painting, but that is available for you right now. But Nick has a video to his, and let's see, Joseph and Clark Fine Art do regular live streams, so you definitely want to check them out. And I will see you guys next week for the guinea pig. Yes, I think that is it. That was, yes. I'm going with that. Every time I end it, I'm like, crap, I forgot to say, I don't know what it was, but we will go with that. There we go.